Congratulations, your search for buyers abroad is over. Through the help of the Eureka Pack. The Eureka Pack helps you do 7 things in order to get buyers abroad. It shows you how to 1. Get prepared to get buyers abroad. 2. Get the online tools to deploy to get buyers abroad. 3. Get list of markets with demands for your products. 4. Get the list of importers in that market. 5. Get the contacts of importers in that market. 6. Get the export contracts from the contact details of the importers. 7. Get favorable export contract terms. The Eureka Pack shows you how to enter the billion-dollar markets available for your products across the world at a very discounted rate of 60,000 naira. The valuable materials that you get upon purchase include 2 manuals and 27 videos explaining and demonstrating how to use the manuals to find buyers abroad. We know you are elated already and interested in ordering for the Eureka Pack right away. Place your order via WhatsApp chat to 0809 999 3142 or email to info@3timpex.com. You can get this pack for just 60,000 naira. Grab your copy now. Congratulations.
Victoria, I'm confused. I'm looking for information on how to export cashew nuts and cocoa beans.
It's easy. Use Export Products Atlas.
Okay, what about how to process and package smoked fish for export?
It's inside Export Products Atlas.
And quality requirements for palm oil?
Also Export Products Atlas.
All right, what of pricing and costing for lead and zinc ores?
Covered in Export Products Atlas.
What if I want to find buyers abroad for lithium ore?
You'll find that in Export Products Atlas too.
How about exporting yam tubers and preventing spoilage?
Still Export Products Atlas.
And preventing quality issues in plantain flour and yam flour export?
Guess what? Export Products Atlas.
Okay, last one. Documentation requirements for exporting dried fruits and vegetables?
All there in Export Products Atlas.
So you're telling me one web app has all this information for different products?
Yes. It's your ultimate guide to successfully exporting over 100 products. It's not just an app, it's an atlas with colorful charts and pictures. Easy to read, saves you time and energy, and it's pocket-friendly. The Export Products Atlas is the most important resource you need to succeed in export business. A one-stop shop for all export information on each product. Whether you're an intending or current exporter, or a banker/funder in export, you must have this. Just visit www.exportproductsatlas.com and join the community to access this powerful resource. Atlas.com and join the community to access this powerful resource.
Victoria.
At 3T Impex, we believe every aspiring exporter deserves a clear pathway to international success.
That's why we created the Export Mentoring Program, from Export Novice to Export Legend.
This is a 6-month, hands-on mentoring program designed to take you from beginner to global exporter.
Every participant is guaranteed direct contact with 5 active international buyers.
You receive step-by-step handholding, from product selection and branding to documentation, logistics, and payments.
Most of our participants begin their first export transaction within 3 to 6 months.
And when you complete the program, you continue to enjoy free advisory services.
The program costs 1,200,000 naira
and runs virtually with participants from Nigeria and around the world. If you're ready to move from Export Novice to Export Legend, this program is for you.
All right, good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for joining today. We're on to the second product on our list, and that is raw cashew nut. You know, the interesting thing is that we're in the season of cashew, so there's no other time or better time to have conversation around cashew nut other than this period. So I'm excited we're having this conversation today. And this will be available on our YouTube channel free of charge, so you have access to it afterwards. And this, I believe, is going to help a lot of people to be able to easily navigate some of the issues and challenges that they face particularly in getting buyers, because many people believe that one of the biggest challenge they have is getting buyers. And with the conversation we're having today, I believe we will be able to give you an insight into how you can navigate through that and being able to a very large extent, understand what to do in finding buyers. So today we are looking at finding buyer for raw cashew nut. Remember, our YouTube channel is Voice of African Trade and Global Trade Tutor. Subscribe, like, share, and drop your comment. The link to this program is also on our Telegram channel, African Export Business Platform, on Telegram 360, Export 360. Export 360 on Telegram and African Export Business Platform. Just like we do on our Thursday session, we have 8 sections to go through. So in this conversation on how to find buyer for raw cashew nut, we'll look at the preamble, which basically talk about the description, characteristics, quality specification, and uses. Then the people, who are the consumers? What do they use it for? Why do they use it? Then the purchasers, the exploration of different available options to get list of buyers. Then the protocol, basically focusing on the principle and guideline to follow in looking for buyers for any product, including cashew. And then the potential, the exploration of various markets abroad with the largest demand for the product, and then promotion, the demonstration of how to use the recommended platforms for promotion, and then partition. By partition, I mean barriers, the identification of different export market entry barrier, particularly non-tariff barrier. And then the pitfall, basically talking about the major reason that hinder many businesses from getting buyers and what they need to do to fix it. So today we are looking at raw cashew nut, not cashew kernel, not processed cashew nut, raw cashew nut. Not cashew kernel, not processed cashew nut, raw cashew nut. There is question and answer at the end of every session. So if you have question, you can drop it in the chat while the session is going. And when we are rounding up, you can actually ask your question when we are rounding off the program. So let's start. Let's start with the step-by-step export process. In this step-by-step export process, we have preparation, where you're getting ready to become an exporter of raw cashew nut. And when you're adequately prepared, you know exactly what to do to promote. With good promotion, you get a purchase order. With a good purchase order, you can start procurement of the cashew nut, and then packaging and labeling. If you look at the picture I showed you earlier, it's usually packaged in a jute bag. You know that brown bag they use for sack race in primary school? That's what it's called, jute bag. Then your pre-export documentation, port clearance and inspection at the origin country, then post-export documentation, then port-to-port shipment, then presentation of document and port clearance and inspection at destination. With port clearance and inspection at destination. And then payment. The focus today is actually on 1 and 2, particularly 2, which is 1, 2, and 3, particularly 2 and 3, which is promotion and then getting the buyer and getting the contract signed. So in this process, that is the focus of this conversation. Raw cashew nut are seed of cashew tree, widely cultivated in West Africa, India, Vietnam. Let me say something about that. See those 2 countries, Vietnam and India, are the major buyers. So if you are looking to sell cashew nut, to export raw cashew nut this season, those are the 2 countries to focus on. India, Vietnam. In fact, India and Vietnam consume about 80 to 90% out of in terms of demand for the raw, particularly the raw cashew nut. Majority of the buyer are in India and Vietnam. Majority of the buyer are in India and Vietnam. They are most of the most valuable tropical agricultural commodity because they serve as foundational input for global cashew processing industry. Raw cashew nuts are typically harvested from cashew apple, sun-dried, bagged, and supplied to processors who convert them to edible kernel for domestic and international market. The raw cashew nut are the seed of cashew apple encased in a hard toxic shell. They are a globally traded agricultural commodity, primarily valued for processing into edible kernel, which are highly prized. Raw cashew nuts have a kidney-shaped structure enclosed in a hard shell. The characteristics. Now, just by way of reminder for those of us that are already familiar with this, and if you are familiar with export in general, you agree with me that one of the critical elements in export success is the quality specification of your product. Is the quality specification of your product. Quality specification of your product. In this case, we have outturn, also called KOR, kernel output ratio. For most buyers, they want a high outturn of about 48 to 52 pounds per 80 kg. Not count, most buyers want between 70 and 190, even though some will buy 200 to 210. Although a low kernel output ratio is an indication that the cashew nut quality, the quality of the kernel inside is low. That means some are rotting, some are spotted, some are bad, some are empty. But not count is the number of nuts per kg. Number of nuts per kg. The lower that value, the higher the size of the nut. The lower the value, the higher the size of the nut. The lower the value. So 170 to 190 is a very good one. They are big nuts. When it's getting to 200, more than 200, those are smaller nuts. The interesting thing is there are buyers for both of them. Although the buyer of those ones, we want to buy at a very low rate. Moisture should be between 8 and 10% to prevent it growing mold before it gets to destination. Defective, should be less than 10%. Foreign matter below 1%. And shell condition should be without crack to preserve the kernel quality and prevent contamination. Raw cashew nuts are primarily used for processing into cashew kernel, which are consumed globally as snack. The byproducts also have significant value. The shell produce cashew nut shell liquid, SCNSL, used in paint, brake pad, adhesives, and industrial chemicals. The cashew tester is used for animal feed. That's the remains after removing the shell liquid. Used for animal feed, and the cashew apple, of course, is used to produce cashew juice or jam, sort of jam rather, and alcoholic beverages. So who are the people that buy? Raw cashew nuts are highly traded agricultural commodity across several industries. The consumer are not individual, but mostly company, for obvious reasons. Now, this is a very important information. The people that buy are companies, processors, people that process it. Remember, it's raw, right? And so you are not going to have people, in fact, you're not going to get supermarket to buy. If it is already roasted, then you might get factory that want to use it for some other things in their production, or supermarket that want to sell it directly. So it's important to understand that they are mainly companies who are factories, who are processors, and also food manufacturers, traders, wholesalers, and industrial users who rely on it as primary raw material. Cashew nuts are primarily consumed by processing factories. Buyers typically purchase during harvest season before global festive period, when market conditions for kernel are profitable. So who are those that use this cashew kernel or cashew nut? The processing company. These are the largest consumer of raw cashew nut. They shell it, dry it, peel it, grade it, pack the kernel for distribution in different markets. And guess what? These companies are concentrated in Vietnam and India, and in recent time, Cote d'Ivoire, but mainly in Vietnam and India. Food processing company. Company produces snack roasted nut confectionery, cereals, energy bars, bakery mixes, and dairy substitutes also use cashew kernel. And some of them might buy cashew nut to convert to kernel and use. Then, of course, now, for almost all commodity, you will find out there are two people you will only found. In almost all commodity you want to export, agro commodity, the manufacturer who use the product, but more importantly, apart from the manufacturer, traders, middlemen, traders, middlemen who buy to resell, traders, middlemen who buy to resell. Now, if you are dealing with this kind of person or this kind of people, you will have a little challenge. They won't buy as much as the manufacturers for obvious reasons. They won't buy as much as the manufacturers for obvious reasons. Why would they not buy as much as the manufacturers? They won't buy as much as the manufacturers because the manufacturers are using it directly, but these people, they are going to resell to the same manufacturers or processors. They are going to resell to the same manufacturers or processors. So if you are looking for buyers, quite frankly, these are people that you want to consider because they are the major people that will buy from you. These are the people you want to consider because they are the major people that will buy from you. Being the major people that will buy from you, you must have a strategy to get across to them. And most of the time, it's a lot easier to reach the traders because they are everywhere than the manufacturers. A number of the manufacturers don't even have energy to go and be looking for people they will buy from. They don't have that energy. So most of the time, they rely on these middlemen to buy from them. And that's very instructive. Because at the end of the day, buying from them means you won't be able to get all the value you might desire in doing that business. Industrial user of cashew shell liquid is another kind of people that might be of interest to you. It's another kind of people that might be of interest to you. Wholesaler and export consolidator. Why do they buy? The reason they buy is to produce high quality cashew kernel. The reason they buy is to produce high quality cashew kernel. High quality cashew kernel. Because they're in high demand and used by many food industries around the world. Because they're in high demand and used by many food industries around the world. And some buy also to extract the liquid. Some buy also to extract the liquid. What do they use raw cashew nut for? Primarily, use of raw cashew nut is processing into edible kernel, whole nut, split pieces, and that's the interesting thing about cashew nut also. Even if in the cost of production, you have some that split, it's not wasted. They all have uses in different economy. They all have different uses in different economies, so it's not wasted. Roasted and flavored snacks, cashew butter, cashew cheese, bakery toppings. Bakery toppings. Bakery toppings. Ingredient in food manufacturing. Food companies use processed cashew for ice cream, cereals, cakes, and pastries ready-to-eat snacks, confectionaries, and chocolate. Industrial application. Cashew liquid is used in automotive brake pad, varnishes and paint, epoxy resin, waterproofing materials. Animal feed. Cashew tester, a byproduct of kernel extraction, is used in livestock feed. When do they buy? They buy during the season. In West Africa, from January to June, the season has started in West Africa already. Then India, February to May, Vietnam, February to June, Brazil, September to December. You notice as the season is ending in one, it's starting in the other. Most buyers purchase heavily during this season to benefit from fresh nut and favorable price. When global cashew demand increase, food company and processor increase purchase during major holidays, summer snack season in Europe, and then when kernel prices are high also, and then when their processing capacity expand. Who are the purchasers? How do we get across to these purchasers? Remember, it's important we are able to reach the purchaser. One of the purchaser, the goal is to, how do we get the people? How do we get their contact? How do we reach them? Raw cashew kernel, cashew nut purchased primarily by industrial and commercial entity. Understand the various buyer segments and how they buy and where they buy from is key. Purchaser of nut include processing factories, traders, and by segmenting this buyer, understanding their needs and using multiple target outreach strategy, including B2B platform, trade fair, buyer and director, and LinkedIn exporter can effectively connect with serious buyers around the world. The main purchasers, again, the processors. These are the largest buyers. They purchase in bulk, process them into kernel for export and domestic consumption. Then we have the international trader and brokers. These buyers purchase raw cashew nut in large volume for resale to processing companies. They often buy from multiple countries. Then importers and wholesalers. They import raw cashew nut for distribution within their market, especially in Asia and Middle East. Manufacturers that use it as byproduct, use the cashew byproduct rather, those are the people that use the cashew shell liquid and of course the export consolidator. Raw cashew nut buyer can be segmented into 5 categories: bulk processing factory, medium scale processor, commodity trader and broker, industrial chemical producers, importer and wholesale distributors. Importers and wholesale distributors. Let's take them one by one. Bulk processing factory. How do we reach them? You can reach them through trade fairs, World Cashew Expo, Anuga, Sia, GoFood. Approach them through official mail with samples and product data sheets. Work with agents who already supply these factories. That's the middleman. Join Cashew Industry Association that have existing connection with large processors. That's a very strategic one. If you know people who currently export cashew nut, some of them can connect you because, quite frankly, many of them cannot meet the demand. So if someone is not trying to connect, unless he's just concerned about you messing up the relationship, but besides that, they really cannot meet the demand and they can easily connect if they can trust. What they look for, again, these people, high level of outturn, low nut count, and steady yearly supply. Medium scale processor. You can find them on Global Sources, Trade Key, globalbuyerinonline.com, B2B portals, advertise in Cashew Focus newsletter and industry portal, connect via LinkedIn to reach their procurement manager. What they look for: consistent supply, competitive price, manageable container volume, and flexibility in negotiation. How do you reach them? Register on Commodity Marketplace. B2B platform, join international WhatsApp group and Telegram group. In fact, not just WhatsApp group and Telegram group. There are groups on LinkedIn, there are groups on Facebook that are focused on cashew. So if you go on Facebook now and you search cashew nut importers, you'll be shocked. You find a lot different groups, some of them over 70,000 members of importers and exporters connecting online on Facebook group and LinkedIn group. Facebook group and LinkedIn group. They look for quality and quick availability, competitive price relative to global trend, and fast documentation turnaround. Industrial producer of cashew shell liquid search for chemical manufacturers globally and contact their procurement department, approaching companies that specialize in friction materials, brake pad, and adhesive. Joining Cashew Later Industrial Chemical Association members. What they look for: affordable access to shell, not necessarily top grade nut. They buy product more than the whole nut because some of them don't process actually. Import or wholesale distributor. These are the ones you will find regularly because they are all everywhere, because they are basically middlemen who are traders. They are basically middlemen who are traders. Engage national importer in Asia, UAE, Vietnam, India, Chamber of Commerce, run targeted ads, focusing on markets in Asia and Far East Asia and Middle East. And they're very keen on competitive pricing. Remember, they are going to resell, right? So competitive pricing is very key. So how do you get a list of buyer for each segment? For B2B, useful for processor, trader, and wholesaler, Alibaba, Trade Key, Global Sources, EC21, Agri Exchange Platform, for Cashew Focus Trade Database designed specifically for Cashew sector, cashewinfo.com, Alliance Cashew Directory, Not2/Comtrade import list. They provide import list, processing factory contact, and global demand report. In fact, if you go online, you can actually get a lot of contact of processor in Vietnam and in India. Trade promotional agencies and Chamber of Commerce, and of course, International Trade Fair. And like I said earlier, LinkedIn. You can actually reach a lot if you go online and you're able to find those purchasers, as in those processing companies. Now that you know their company name, then you can search for their import manager or procurement manager on LinkedIn. And then, of course, you can reach out to them on LinkedIn. You can decide to buy data. We actually provide this service for our client. You can buy data. You can buy data of who are those that imported raw cashew nuts last year from Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, that kind of data is readily available. You can get it. We can assist you with that. You can also pay online, Treat, Panjiva, Export Genius, and a host of other export market intelligence platforms. And you can search for imports under RCNHS code, either to Vietnam or India. Remember, Vietnam and India are the major markets. And like I said, we also provide such services to you. The protocol to follow. Now, again, you want to export raw cashew nut. First of all, how do you choose the market? Check prohibition list, potential market, purchasers, personnel, paperwork, pricing, packaging and labeling, and political economy. These are the principles that should guide your decision. Let's take it one by one. Prohibition. This involves checking to ensure that the selected product for export is not on the prohibition list in the country you are targeting. That's why I'm already providing the major buyer. So you don't even look at country that is not interested or that does not buy or that probably prohibits it. Potential market. This involves checking to ensure the selected export market has potential demand for the selected export product. The purchaser. This involves checking to ensure that the selected export market has different options for the distribution of the selected product. Personnel. This involves checking to ensure that the selected export, that the exporter can get overseas representative. Let me say this. If you are exporting to Vietnam, please be very, very careful. A number of Nigeria, there are credible buyers in Vietnam, but there are also some people taking advantage of Nigerians in Vietnam. I'm aware of a couple of people who have exported to Vietnam, and eventually they end up dealing with. That's why I always tell people, don't be eager. When you master this trade, it will become easier to manage it very well. Don't be eager. Don't be in a rush. You have practicalized what we are discussing. You have gotten the buyer. Do your due diligence. Which is why I talk about investing in data. Is it an importer? Has it been importing? This kind of data are available. And if you have a buyer and you want to be sure if the buyer is genuine, and you want to check, does he import? Does he import last year? I say, because if it's genuine, then it should be have been importing regularly. Or how long has he even been in the business? We can assist because we have access to some data that can help us to assist you. Of course, it's come at a fee, but it's not something very expensive. In addition to that, you might need to also check. In addition to that, you might need to also check. In addition to that, ladies and gentlemen, I need to also check, are they registered with any chamber of commerce? If you don't have a rep and they are not giving you letter of credit, I won't recommend you go ahead. If you don't have a rep and they give you letter of credit, that makes a lot of sense. Just ensure you send documents that are not discrepant. And if they give letter of credit, most likely they are credible because their bank will not use letter of credit in their favor or on their behalf if they are not credible. Paperwork. This involves checking to ensure that the exporter can get the necessary documentation required to sell the selected product in the export market. So the document he needs to clear the goods and sell. Those are the documentation. The pricing. This involves checking to ensure that the pricing of selected product is competitive. That means you need to know your costing, the cost element, apart from the product cost, the packaging, the warehousing, the transport, the export clearance, the freight cost, the insurance, the phytosanitary fumigation, and different certificates you have to obtain. You need to understand the pricing, the labeling, packaging and labeling. This involves checking to ensure that the packaging and labeling of the selected product is suitable for the chosen export market and political economy. In today's world, you definitely must know what is happening in the destination market. Political economy basically talk about the political situation in that country and economic situation. They are basically talking about the political risk and, of course, economic risk. You must also know your product. Ladies and gentlemen, you must know your product. Ladies and gentlemen, you must know your product. Ladies and gentlemen, you must know your product. The question is, do you know your product? Do you know your product? If you do not know your product, you're already on the road to losing money. If you do not know your product, you should know your product. What does it mean to know your product? Before you find buyer for that product, what does it mean to know your product? You know the purpose of the product. What is the product used for? You know the parameter of the product. What are the quality specification of the product? You know the parameters of the product. You know the potential demand or market for the product. You know the purchasers of the product. You know the packaging of the product. You know the paperwork of the product. You know the paperwork of the product. You need to know the product. You need to know the product. And incidentally, we developed a platform that can help you know your product. And this platform has over 100 different products. And this is to make it easier and cheaper for you to know your product. So I will do a demonstration for you now on what do you need to know. Remember, I talked about the purpose, the parameter, the potential, the purchaser, the packaging, the paperwork, the pricing, and the pitfall. So you will find all that on the exportpro.atlas.com. Product A is with X. Export products, product with S. Exportpro.atlas.com. So let's do example of cashew nut. I want to know my product and I want to know cashew nut. So this is exportpro.atlas.com and I want to know about cashew nut. So I can decide to search here for cashew nut. And then category is agro commodity and search, or I can decide to go to product category and go to agro commodity and search whichever option that is convenient for me. Now you can see different products here: shea nut, sorghum, potato, coconut. So we are looking for cashew nut. Cashew nut. Let's load more to get cashew nut. Let's load more to get cashew nut. So this is raw cashew nut. So view data. All those characteristics, you can find them here. Look at the picture of the product. See the way the product is loaded in the container. All this you'll find on exportproductatlas.com. Then the preamble, basically talking about the top producer, harvest season, and the like. Then purpose. Purpose basically talk about the uses of the product. Then potential. You can see the potential. These are the top market for cashew nut. Top market, top buyers, countries that buy cashew nut. Then you can see the pricing. These are the cost element, the template for cost element. Then the parameters. These are the quality specifications. Can you see moisture, nut count, kernel output ratio, defective nut, foreign matter, float rate, admixture? So remember I said you must know your product. Know your product. And exportproductatlas.com make it easier for you to know your product. Paperwork. This has to do with documentation. The documentation, the pre and post export documentation and the issuer. Then packaging. See the way it's packaged. And you can see different the packaging, what's the name? The packaging requirement. The kind of packaging, the weighing, the labeling, the kind of bag that is to be used. So you can expand this to see clearly. Packaging. Then promotion. How do you promote it? Know your product. Then the paperwork, documentation. The paperwork, documentation. The promotion. And then, of course, more importantly, the pitfall. What can go wrong? All this you find on the exportproductatlas.com. The product there is product with S. Exportproductatlas.com. Each product is just 10,000 naira. So it's a lot easier for you to be able to know about your product. And this site has over 100 different products. Different category: agro, commodity, animal product, fruit and vegetables, mineral product, processed food, and semi-processed agro. So you can visit exportproductatlas.com at your convenience. Remember, it's important you know your product. The idea here is that you need to know your product. You need to know your product. You can do a screenshot of this QR code to be able to access it afterwards. You need to know your product. You need to know your product. Let's go on a short break. When we return, we'll be talking about the potential market, how to go about promotion, the partition, which is the barrier, and then we round off with pitfall. You can drop your question in the chat while the session is ongoing.
Victoria, I'm confused. I'm looking for information on how to export cashew nuts and cocoa beans.
That's easy. Use Export Products Atlas.
Okay, what about how to process and package smoked fish for export?
It's inside Export Products Atlas.
And quality requirements for palm oil?
Also Export Products Atlas.
All right, what of pricing and costing for lead and zinc ores?
Covered in Export Products Atlas.
What if I want to find buyers abroad for lithium ore?
You'll find that in Export Products Atlas too.
How about exporting yam tubers and preventing spoilage?
Still Export Products Atlas.
And preventing quality issues in plantain flour and yam flour export?
Guess what? Export Products Atlas.
Okay, last one. Documentation requirements for exporting dried fruits and vegetables?
All there in Export Products Atlas.
So you're telling me one web app has all this information for different products?
Yes. It's your ultimate guide to successfully exporting over 100 products. It's not just an app, it's an atlas with colorful charts and pictures. Easy to read, saves you time and energy, and it's pocket-friendly. The Export Products Atlas is the most important resource you need to succeed in export business. A one-stop shop for all export information on each product. Whether you're an intending or current exporter, or a banker/funder in export, you must have this. Just visit www.exportproductsatlas.com and join the community to access this powerful resource.
All right.
At 3T Impex, we believe every aspiring exporter deserves a clear pathway to international success.
That's why we created the Export Mentoring Program, from Export Novice to Export Legend.
This is a 6-month, hands-on mentoring program designed to take you from beginner to global exporter.
Every participant is guaranteed direct contact with 5 active international buyers.
You receive step-by-step handholding, from product selection and branding to documentation, logistics, and payments.
Most of our participants begin their first export transaction within 3 to 6 months.
And when you complete the program, you continue to enjoy free advisory services.
The program cost 1,200,000 naira
And runs virtually with participants from Nigeria and around the world. If you're ready to move from Export Novice to Export Legend, this program is for you.
Someone is asking a question. When 10,000 is paid, is it? Yes, it's unlimited access. You have access. When you say unlimited, what does that mean? Let me understand what you mean by unlimited. You can drop in the chat, but what you mean by unlimited? But you have access for a year. You have, it's annual subscription. But I mean, typically, if you get that access, you start exporting, you won't need to come back there again unless you want to buy for another product. Each product is 10,000 and you have access to it for a whole year. So that means 12 months, you can still go back and check in case you need to double check on anything. But yeah, I don't know if that answers your question. All right. So remember, you can drop your question and of course you can ask at the end. Potential. Okay, buddy, thank you. Potential. Let's look at the market. Remember, I told you 2 countries. Can you see the 2 countries? Vietnam and India. Vietnam and India are the major consumer of this product. So if you are looking to market, these are the 2 countries you should target. Plastic flakes. Yes, Ajibola plastic flakes will be, if you are interested, it's part of our list, but I'm not sure if that has been updated yet. Ajibola, you can chat 08099993142, and I will confirm to you. But if you check, I don't know if I've been updated yet because it's under product, but I'm sure we've done over 50 already. But any product that someone wants to buy that is not there, we can easily do that ahead. While we are still uploading the other product online. So definitely plastic flake is on the list, but I don't think it has been updated yet. Vietnam and India. You notice they are competing 1.3 billion. Both of them are consuming over 90% or about 90% of the demand for this product. So the market is determined. There's no point wasting time. If you are looking for market for cashew nut, raw cashew nut, please just focus your attention on Vietnam and on India. Also, Europeans are buying, but you can see Europeans are buying so low, 29 million. Europeans buy raw cashew nut, but very small, 29 million. And then United States also buy, but just about 7 million. You see Europe and Europe and North America, they buy cashew kernel more. Cashew kernel is the white stuff inside it when you have removed the shell. Cashew kernel is the white stuff inside cashew nut when you have removed the shell. Is the white stuff inside it when you have removed the shell. And then, of course, Oceania also buy $112 million. And even Africa, Togo, Ghana, Algeria buy raw cashew nut, but very small, $30 million. So majority of the people buying, of course, are mainly India and Vietnam. I mean, they produce themselves, but they do not, they have processing capacity more than their production capacity. They have processing capacity more than their production capacity. They have processing capacity more than their production capacity. So that explains the reason why they buy more than every part of the world, even though they themselves are producers. Let's move on to promotion. Build a strong export brand and company profile. One of the biggest drivers of international sales is credibility. When you send a mail and they don't respond to you, it's because of credibility. Anytime you experience that, you know my recommendation that I've worked, get someone in Europe and America to send that mail. Most likely they will respond. But if it's from Africa, Nigeria, there are concerns. Why? Stereotypes, because of some of the experiences they've had before, of what they've heard. A strong brand includes a professional company profile with a clear information on sourcing, capacity, processing, method of pricing, model, or certification. A consistent brand message that highlights your strength, traceability, reliability, competitive sourcing network. Branding on digital platform like your website. Do not approach a buyer abroad if you don't have a website. Do not approach a buyer abroad if you don't have a website. Do not approach a buyer abroad if you don't have a website. Do not approach, I'm sounding like a broken record. I'm repeating myself again and again. There's a reason for that. Don't create doubt in the mind of people you are trying to reach, even before they respond to you. Don't create doubt. That you don't have a website is a red flag. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. It's a red flag because how much to have a website? What does it cost? What will it cost? What will it cost? Branding on digital platform, brochure, website, LinkedIn. A brand reputation assures buyer that exporter has the system needed to deliver large volume on time. Then B2B platform. Let me recommend a platform. You see that last one, Global Buyer Online. That's my best recommendation. And I'll tell you why. All of them have fraudster on it. All of them have fraudster. So please, if you go to any platform, disclaimer, all of them have fraudster on it. All of them. All of them have fraudster on it. A minute, please. All of them have fraudster on it. What I mean is that there are credible people, there are people that are not credible. There are credible, there are people that are not credible. So what do? You do your due diligence. How do you do your due diligence? Are they a registered company? Do they have history of import? Do they have any association with Chamber of Commerce? This is so important. Alibaba, Trade Key, Global Sourcing, EC21, India Mart, Global Buyer Online. To stand out, exporters should upload attractive, clear product photo, specify quality grade, outline moisture content, outturn not count, packaging, and provide responsive communication. This platform attracts trader, processor, wholesaler, importing company, searching specifically for RCN. So, like I said, I recommend Global Buyer because it's a lot cheaper and you will get the same value like others. You get the same value like others. I think it's less than $500, the highest level. And it's good you subscribe for the highest option. You will get notification. Like I said, when you reach out, you might not get a response. You might get a response. If you get a response, fine. If you don't get a response, look for someone outside Nigeria to reach out to them. Participate in trade fair. SIA in France, Anuga in Germany, Gulf Food in Dubai, World Cashew Conference, Interpack. This forum allows exporters to showcase samples, discuss quality, negotiate long-term contracts, and network with procurement team from top processing companies. Leverage promotional agency, leverage promotional agency. Export promotion can help. Chamber of Commerce, Commodity Association. There is Cashew Association in Nigeria. If you're a member, I'm sure you should be able to get buyers because a number of their members have buyers already. Direct targeting of cashew processing company. The largest consumer of cashew, remember, they are in India and Vietnam mainly. ESTA can identify processors. ESTA can identify processor. Send professional structure introductory email. Share product sheet, quality specification, certification, and FOB or CIF code. Follow up on video calls, sample shipment, and factory visit. Direct targeting allow exporter to establish a long-term supply contract that provides stable demand and predictable revenue. Build partnership with commodity brokers and import brokers. Traders and brokers, like I said, they play a significant role. You can't wish them away. They are, they are so important in this market. They often facilitate spot market purchase, seasonal contract, missed container shipment, market intelligence and price forecast, working with broker increase reach, especially into market where direct entry is difficult. Some market or some buyer will prefer to deal with a middleman who will take all the headache off them. Who will take the headache off them. Use digital marketing and social media outreach. Use digital marketing and social media outreach. Very important. LinkedIn is a fantastic tool. You know, I keep repeating about LinkedIn. It's a fantastic tool. It's a fantastic tool because you can reach the procurement manager. In fact, you can get the phone number. You can get the phone number of the procurement manager. There are tools that can enable you to get phone number of people you want to reach on LinkedIn. Share product videos from warehouses and farms. Run target ads to buyers in India and Vietnam. And if you do a search on Google, it will tell you the area in Vietnam and India. Even ChatGPT will give you that, where the factories are concentrated. So when you are doing your promotion on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, you can target market those regions. Join commodity and agri-business group with procurement manager. Digital prevent promote transparency and speed up buyers' inquiry. And speed up buyers' inquiry. And speed up buyers' inquiry. Publish cashew report and technical content. Join Cashew market report and technical content. Thought leadership attracts serious buyers. Exporter can publish market trend, quality specification, harvest season update, export logistic guide, price movement report. Buyers see such exporter as more knowledgeable and reliable, increasing their willingness to initiate deals. Maintain a consistent quality management and certification system. So in your website, you should put the detail of your product in terms of quality specification. In fact, the quality is very important, actually. Buyer prefer exporter with reliable grading and sorting, accurate moisture and KOR, kernel output ratio, proper bagging and packing, compliant with food safety and phytosanitary. Phytosanitary certificate is one of the most important certificates you will need when you are exporting any agro commodity to almost any country in the world. To almost every country in the world have what they call National Plant Protection Agency. In Nigeria, we call it Nigeria Agricultural Quarantine Service, and they are the one that issue that certificate. Partition or the barriers. Number one, barrier to entry in export market for cashew. Strict quality and sanitary standard. Imported countries like India and Vietnam and Brazil enforce strict quality parameters for raw cashew nut, including moisture content, nut count, kernel output ratio, nut count, kernel output ratio, kernel output ratio. Exporters should invest in proper drying. If you are not the one drying, do the testing. You can test it. You can test the product you want to buy. You can test the product you want to buy. You can test the product you want to buy. In fact, there are inspection agents that will have been specified in your contract. You're supposed to do some of this testing for you. But let me show you a trick. If you are buying cashew nut and you want to know if the cashew nut is what's the name? If it's dry. Let me see if I can do a demonstration for you. Sorry, I'm looking for something I can use for that demonstration. Okay, let me use a car key. I will open my video. I want to show you something. Now, please look at me. Let me try to do a layout that will make it easier. Yeah. You should be able to see me easily now. Let me check my monitor. Okay, you should be able to see me easily now. Now, in my hand is a car key, but I'm looking for, let's assume this key is cashew nut. If you hold the cashew nut and you use your thumb to press it, and if the shell depress, if you're able to depress the shell, that cashew nut is not dry. When the cashew nut is dry, when you use if you use your nail to press it down, it will be hard. It will not be, you can't depress the shell. I don't know if I'm making sense. If you get what I'm saying, can you drop a message in the chat? If you get what I'm saying, drop a message in the chat. If you use your thumb and to depress it, apply pressure. Okay, let me see. Someone said, okay, buddy, thank you. So if you apply that pressure, if you feel depression, that's a very clear way to know that cashew is not dry. So that means even on the field, cashew nut is one of the products you can easily buy and get the quality right even without taking it to a lab. Because nut count, you can do nut count yourself. You can do nut count yourself. How do you do nut count? That one kg, that one, what's the name? That one, you weigh 1 kg of the cashew nut. After weighing it, count it. If you count it, it should be within the stipulated range, maybe 170, 180, count it. And when you are taking that sample, you can take it from different bags, mix it together and count. So you can not count, kernel output ratio. There are scissors they use to cut cashew. If you cut all of them and you have maybe less than 5% is empty, rotten, dirty, spotted, you are in good place. I'm saying even on the field, you can have an idea of what the quality of your cashew is. You still have to test in the lab, but I'm just giving an example of the fact that you can check some of this quality even in the warehouse in Ogbomoso or what's the name, Okeonigbin or wherever it is you're buying in Kwara or in Kogi or in Osun or in Oyo State. Number 2, lengthy complex documentation. You see number 1 there is phytosanitary. Phytosanitary, certificate of origin, fumigation report, quality inspection certificate, packing list, export declaration. If you are doing letter of credit, error and inconsistency can delay your shipment, can delay your payment, rather. So you need to develop a structured documentation process. Exporters should work with experienced freight forwarder, pre-inspect shipment, Create document template to avoid mistake. Participate in export workshop or training offered by Export Promotion Council. Can also improve compliance. NEPC do a lot of training and you can attend them free. Import quota and seasonal restriction. Some importing countries adjust import quota based on domestic processing. But I'm not sure if India and Vietnam do this. Okay, so they do this sometimes when they have bumper harvest. Sometimes, in fact, I think some years ago we had issue with cashew actually, because I think it was Vietnam that had a lot of good. They have good harvest that year, and they didn't buy as much that we anticipated. And guess what? All the people that bought cashew and kept it, the price crashed on them, and some people could not sell because they will be selling at a mega loss. Just the way I heard some people commit suicide on cocoa. Cocoa price has dropped significantly, and some people already think, when the price of the commodity go up, you should know that it's not sustainable. It's even you will note from crude oil, a commodity price going up is forces of demand and supply. So I don't know how some people just assume that cocoa price will never come down from over 10 million per ton. It doesn't make sense because the manufacturer is going to find alternative if the price, because chocolate is not water. Chocolate is not air. It's not salt or sugar. It's not commodity that people buy with inelastic demand. So if the price go high too much, people will not buy again. So the manufacturer will have to find alternative. So anytime a commodity price go up very unnecessarily, be rest assured, it might not come down to where it used to be, but the chance of coming down is very high. Some importing countries adjust their quota. Exporters should monitor market trend and crops calendar for major buyer. Maintain diversified market, reduce dependence on a single country. Excessive testing and border control. Raw cashew nut may be subjected to repeated tests for aflatoxin. Now, this is the problem of moisture. And pest infestation and chemical residue. This is why pre-shipment inspection testing like SGS or breathalyzers become important. Packaging. Using the right kind of bag. If you don't use jute bag, if you see the picture I showed you, let me show you this picture again. The picture I showed you from that website, let me show you that picture again. Look at this picture from exportproductatlas.com. I want you to look at the picture below. Do you see this picture below? Can you see the bag, the brown bag, jute bag? Can you see this white stuff on the wall? Can you see that even the inside is lined with what? Craft paper. With pallet on the ground. With the bag loaded on it. And then you see those white stuff. They absorb moisture in transit. This is the way the product is supposed to be exported to keep it in optimal condition to the destination. And you find different packaging similar to this and other ones right there on the exportproductatlas.com. Packaging and labeling. Financial and foreign exchange barrier. Foreign barrier often require payment through letter of credit or complex payment times that new exporters find difficult to navigate. If you get a letter of credit, please discuss with your bank. We can also consult for you on letter of credit because we do training for banks on letter of credit. So I'm sure we can assist you on that in our export coaching program. But you can also talk to your bank so that you won't send document abroad that will delay your payment. So that you won't send document abroad that will delay your payment because of discrepancies. Lack of international market information. Many exporters struggle because they do not have access to updated buyer list. Use trade databases, export promotion agency, or chamber of commerce and trade fair to gather intelligence. Before we close, pitfalls. What are the pitfalls to avoid? What are the pitfalls to avoid? Number one, poor and non-professional company presentation. This is a pitfall that many people fall into in export. Many exporters approach buyer, poorly written emailing, consistent branding, weak profiling, complete website. Ajibola, your hand is on the screen and you are messing up my screen. Ajibola Olato, something like that. Your hand is on the screen and you are messing up my screen. Thank you. Create a clear professional company profile, well-structured website, quality product photo, and clear description of quality specification. Use branded document and well-formatted communication to build trust. Lack of clear product specification. Buyer expect detailed raw cashew nut specification. So if you are approaching them, you have to approach them with detailed specification. And guess what? the specification you need to provide are right there on the Export Product Atlas. Okay, Gibola, thank you. Lack of clear specification. So prepare standard product data sheet showing all the technical specification. This increase confidence and speed up negotiation. With digital presence, they search your company, they can't find you online. You can't rely on WhatsApp messages without online visibility. The first thing they will do is to go and check you online to be sure you are genuine. A professional website, LinkedIn business page, listing on B2B platforms, at least a website and LinkedIn business page, at least those two. I would recommend you put Facebook also. Not participating in trade fair or association. Many exporters never attend trade exhibition or join industry association. There is African Cashew Alliance, and they have an association in Nigeria. If you are serious about cashew, you might want to join them also as you go along in the business. Generic spam-like buyer outreach. When you are sending mail to a buyer, you should be able to identify. Don't just say, dear sir. That's why I said, immediately you identify the buyer, you can go online and you can find the name of someone in that company or the director, so that when you are writing the mail, you are directed to that person. If they receive it on Nigerian mail, they will forward it to that person. Some company put the detailed name, email, and phone number of their key staff or contact person online. Some you might have to go on LinkedIn to be able to find it, like I said earlier. So don't send generic mail. Inconsistent follow-up. Follow-up is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. You need to be aware of the time difference. So we are looking at cashew nut, right? And for cashew nut, we are looking at India and Vietnam. So let's check something. Let's check India. Let's check Kolkata in India. What is the time of Kolkata in India? Kolkata in India currently is 10:37 p.m. Kolkata in India, Nigeria is 6:07. Kolkata is 10:37. Let's check Vietnam. That's about 4-hour difference. Let's check Vietnam. Ho Chi Minh City. They are currently 12 a.m. That is 6 hours different. So if you are reaching out to a country like that, you know that you need to wake up early to respond to your messages and to your mail. I'm giving you that so you can understand that if you get a notification on a B2B platform that someone is interested in what you posted on that platform, be rest assured you are not the only one getting that notification. That person is going to be sending message to different people on that platform. In fact, some platform will send message. If a buyer in Vietnam posts now, all the people that indicated cashew on that platform will get notification at the same time. Is the person that responds first that stand the chance. So you must be on top of your mail. So you will not be responding so late when they've already taken a decision on who they are going to be dealing with on that transaction because you did not respond on time. No proof of capacity or quality. Buyer hesitate when exporter cannot show warehouse photo. So if you are going to do cashew, you should visit where they are sourcing. You should be able to have a warehouse you are dealing with. You should be able to, where you are there, you can do video, you can take pictures, and those are the things that should be on your website, on your Facebook page, on your LinkedIn page. Photo of quality report, farmer supply agreement, or facility certificate, or verifiable evidence. Ignoring market intelligence. Many exporters promote without understanding buyer preference, global price trend, or competitive price country like Vietnam and Cote d'Ivoire. Mitigation. Subscribe to market report, follow cashew nut industry newsletter, participate in association webinar, and monitor price indices. Inform exporters, promote better, and negotiate from a stronger position. Not providing samples. A buyer can say, okay, can you send us sample? And guess what? Some exporter will say the buyer should pay for the sample. How can they pay for this? Do you know how many people that is with that? International trade is always buyer's market. International trade is buyer's business. Buyer always have upper hand most of the time because many people want to sell. So if you are not sending sample because of the cost, someone else is willing to send. Sample shipment, live video of inspection, third-party pre-shipment inspection service. This increased buyer's trust significantly. Before we close, you can drop your question and answer, and you can indicate by raising up your hand if you have questions while we listen to this Export Product Atlas video.
Victoria, I'm confused. I'm looking for information on how to export cashew nuts and cocoa beans.
It's easy. Use Export Products Atlas.
Okay, what about how to process and package smoked fish for export?
It's inside Export Products Atlas.
And quality requirements for palm oil?
Also Export Products Atlas.
All right, what of pricing and costing for lead and zinc ores?
Covered in Export Products Atlas.
What if I want to find buyers abroad for lithium ore?
You'll find that in Export Products Atlas too.
How about exporting yam tubers and preventing spoilage?
Still Export Products Atlas.
And preventing quality issues in plantain flour and yam flour export?
Guess what? Export Products Atlas.
Okay, last one. Documentation requirements for exporting dried fruits and vegetables?
All there in Export Products Atlas.
So you're telling me one web app has all this information for different products?
Yes. It's your ultimate guide to successfully exporting over 100 products. It's not just an app, it's an atlas with colorful charts and pictures. Easy to read, saves you time and energy, and it's pocket-friendly. The Export Products Atlas is the most important resource you need to succeed in export business. A one-stop shop for all export information on each product. Whether you're an intending or current exporter, or a banker/funder in export, you must have this. Just visit www.exportproductsatlas.com and join the community to access this powerful resource.
All right. Someone drop a comment. Okay, Daniel. Oh, okay, Daniel. Thank you very much. If you have question, please drop it.
3T Impex. We believe every aspiring exporter deserves a clear pathway to international success.
That's why we created the Export Mentoring Program, from Export Novice to Export Legend.
This is a 6-month, hands-on mentoring program designed to take you from beginner to global exporter.
Every participant is guaranteed direct contact with 5 active international buyers.
You receive step-by-step handholding, from product selection and branding to documentation, logistics, and payments.
Most of our participants begin their first export transaction within 3 to 6 months.
And when you complete the program, you continue to enjoy free advisory services.
The program cost 1,200,000 naira.
And runs virtually with participants from Nigeria and around the world. If you're ready to move from Export Novice to Export Legend, this program is for you.
All right. This video will go on our YouTube channel. That's Voice of African Trade and Global Trade Tutor. So you can always have access to it. Someone said technical data sheet of a product, the same as, yes. Product specification, very correct, buddy. Product specification, very correct. Next week, we are looking at sesame seed. Next week, the season is still on. Next week, we are looking at sesame seed. So for those that are interested in sesame seed, you can join us next week as we look at sesame seed. Finding buyer abroad, that will be February 3rd. Finding buyer abroad for sesame seed. Remember, you can get the link to join this program on our African Export Business Platform and on WhatsApp Export 360 on WhatsApp, on Telegram African Export Business Platform. Join us on radio tomorrow. We have a radio program powered by Zenith Bank every Wednesday by 6:30 p.m. on Nigeria Info 993. Nigeria Info 993. So you can join us tomorrow, wherever you are, either online or through your radio. They have an app, they have a web app. As long as you're connected to the internet, you can always join us tomorrow.
Victoria, I'm confused. I'm looking for information on how to export cashew nuts and cocoa beans.
That's easy. Use Export Products Atlas.
Okay, what about how to process and package smoked fish for export?
It's inside Export Products Atlas.
And quality requirements for palm oil?
Also Export Products Atlas.
All right, what of pricing and costing for lead and zinc ores?
Covered in Export Products Atlas.
What if I want to find buyers abroad for lithium ore?
You'll find that in Export Products Atlas too.
How about exporting yam tubers and preventing spoilage?
Still Export Products Atlas.
And preventing quality issues in plantain flour and yam flour export?
Guess what? Export Products Atlas.
Okay, last one. Documentation requirements for exporting dried fruits and vegetables?
All there in Export Products Atlas.
So you're telling me one web app has all this information for different products?
It's your ultimate guide to successfully exporting over 100 products. It's not just an app, it's an atlas with colorful charts and pictures. Easy to read, saves you time and energy, and it's pocket-friendly. The Export Products Atlas is the most important resource you need to succeed in export business. A one-stop shop for all export information on each product. Whether you're an intending or current exporter, or a banker/funder in export, you must have this. Just visit www.exportproductsatlas.com and join the community to access this powerful resource.
Okay, someone is asking for the link to the exportproductatlas.com. I've just dropped it on the chat.
Congratulations, your search for buyers abroad is over through the help of the Eureka Pack. The Eureka Pack helps you do 7 things in order to get buyers abroad. It shows you how to 1. Get prepared to get buyers abroad. 2. Get the online tools to deploy to get buyers abroad. 3. Get list of markets with demands for your products. 4. Get the list of importers in that market. 5. Get the contacts of importers in that market. 6. Get the export contracts from the contact details of the importers. 7. Get favorable export contract terms. The Eureka Pack shows you how to enter the billion-dollar markets available for your products across the world at a very discounted rate of 60,000 naira. The valuable materials that you get upon purchase include 2 manuals and 27 videos explaining and demonstrating how to use the manuals to find buyers abroad. We know you are elated already and interested in ordering for the Eureka Pack right away. Place your order via a WhatsApp chat to 0809 999 3142 or email to info@3timpex.com. You can get this pack for just 60,000 naira. Grab your copy now.
At 3T Impex, we believe every aspiring exporter deserves a clear pathway to international success.
That's why we created the Export Mentoring Program, from Export Novice to Export Legend.
This is a 6-month hands-on mentoring program designed to take you from beginner to global exporter.
Every participant is guaranteed direct contact with 5 active international buyers.
You receive step-by-step handholding, from product selection and branding to documentation, logistics, and payments.
Most of our participants begin their first export transaction within 3 to 6 months.
And when you complete the program, you continue to enjoy free advisory services.
The program cost 1,200,000 naira.
And runs virtually with participants from Nigeria and around the world. If you're ready to move from Export Novice to Export Legend, this program is for you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. See you next week as we discuss sesame seed. Have a great week ahead, and bye-bye.